I need somebody.
When there's an emergency,
You want to keep your arms straight.
you can count on Jan Stark.
Already I'm puffing.
Clearly, I need to hit the gym.
And 2 breaths, 2 quick breaths.
All jokes and my pride aside, Jan takes first aid seriously. She's done a decent amount of courses over her 40 years of being a teacher. Thankfully, she hasn't had to put those skills to use so far, where she teaches in Tākaka near Nelson.
Whenever there's been an incident, there's been someone who's far more qualified than I am there. So I just tend to be on duty of getting the crowds of children away. So this is a dummy.
She's seen quite a few of these over the years, but she thinks there's something missing.
It's not got anything here.
What she means is that it doesn't look like the female mannequins have any breasts.
Nope.
You can judge for yourselves.
As a woman, my body is different to a man's body, and surely it should be represented when first aid is being administered.
But what Fair Go wants to find out is whether the size or shape of the dummy's chest matters when learning things like CPR.
It doesn't matter the body size, what gender they are, just get on the chest and do those compressions.
So in this case, shape doesn't matter. Anna from Hatohone St John clinical team says there's only a difference between adults and babies.
If you ever call through to 111, they'll be able to give you specific advice depending on the age of the patient and the circumstances that have happened.
Which is a relief for Jan, but she believes mannequins need to be as realistic as possible.
I have no issue with the providers. I really want to make that quite clear because honestly, they do a great job. I have thought about this. Are there mannequins out there that represent the female form? And if there are, can they start to be introduced if possible?
And turns out this issue's not just about appearances.
Some US studies have found that women are less likely than men to receive bystander CPR in public situations. Researchers think a reluctance to touch a woman's chest might be one reason, but is that the case here in Aotearoa?
There's a scarcity of evidence in New Zealand as to whether having specific female mannequins would make a difference to the rates of CPR being performed. We are investigating if there would be a difference.
New Zealand Red Cross are already trialling a prototype based off the design of the womannequin. The idea is that people can be more comfortable doing CPR on someone with breasts. And the Red Cross is planning more changes, like updating its media to include images of female patients receiving CPR. Hatohone St John tells us its mannequins are gender neutral.
The mannequins we use are what is available on the market currently.
That market leader is Layerdale, a company that makes and supplies mannequins to the majority of our first aid providers. It says their Little Ann CPR mannequin is not supposed to be female or male.
We decided to make Little Ann androgynous to represent the widest patient group possible. We recognise the importance of representing a diverse population and have discussed whether to offer breasts as part of this training solution. We continue to work hard on finding ways to best do this across our product ranges.
For Hatohone St John, it's all about saving lives. And this month, they have also launched Shocktober, a campaign to highlight CPR in the community.
CPR is critical in increasing survival outcomes for cardiac arrest, particularly in the community.
Their latest annual survey shows more than 2,000 people were treated for cardiac arrest in the community. That's 5 people a day, and only 25% survive long enough to make it to hospital. So early intervention is life-saving.
So we're really wanting to educate people as much as possible and get them feeling comfortable and confident with administering CPR as quickly as possible.
Jan also wondered about using this wonderful machine on female patients.
When I first started, they didn't even exist.
It's an automated external defibrillator, or an AED.
Stand clear. Push shock button.
It needs to make contact with bare skin, so that means close off.
Bras have got wires in them. So you've got an underwire bra and you've also got hooks. And when I look at where you actually have to put the pads, there is an issue, especially older women. We're not pert, it does everything, and I know, because I've spoken to a couple of people, your boobs naturally fall to the side. I understand that.
Both the Red Cross and Hatohone St John say they do emphasise personal dignity for both men and women when teaching the use of an AED.
It's an uncomfortable conversation for some people to have, but it's also really important. Time is critical. Cutting off the clothing, including a bra, is the fastest way to clear the chest to apply the AED pads. This is discussed at our courses, along with the need to maintain people's dignity while they are being administered CPR.
So there is definitely discussion and some progress, which is welcome news to Jan, teacher, first aider, and asker of excellent questions.
Very important story. I thought you just got to get away from the awkwardness, not worry about that, just get in there. That was my take.
And it's such an important skill to have, isn't it?